Welcome back to House TV Live. I'm Rick Spence, and joining me today is Wendy Glaister from Modesto, California, doing amazing interior design there. And Wendy, you're going to share with us your beautiful backyard oasis at your own home. All the elements back there. You've got water, you've got fire, you've got greenery, you've got hardscape. What do we want to start with?
Well, when we moved in, Rick, there was nothing here because it was a foreclosure, and it was really ugly. And I was raised by a family of hobbyist gardeners. My grandfather, my parents, everyone loved gardening and plants. And so it was like a desert wasteland, and it looked so hopeless. It was horrible. And we had nothing when we first got married. So we started off, I think we got some calla lilies for the Half Moon Bay nursery, and I split them because you can divide them. And I planted them all along this long walkway. And it looked so spindly and sad. And now it's totally filled in. And I was able to give calla lilies to all my neighbors for like a month and a half.
Those are beautiful plants. So, all right, so you're going down the side yard, and you have this beautiful destination with your seating area and the fire pit. Tell me how that works.
Well, it's hot here.
So you don't use the fire features, what you're telling me. You don't need it just for looks.
In the evening, it's great. But I like the shade for the daytime. So I wanted it to feel like there were little destination points, because it is kind of an oddly shaped yard. You kind of have to bring people through a space just like you do a house. That's really how I approach the outside, just like I would do an interior. So there are little resting points. There's this little herb garden. We have a very shallow backyard. So we have larger side yards and a narrow backyard. So that's why we also put the outdoor kitchen there, because it just needed to feel a little more intentional, not like you're walking out and bam, you hit a fence. So what we did was we made the frame out of steel. We clad the whole thing in glass and then trimmed it out in storefront, because Mark does glass in storefront. So it looks very tidy. It has that clean, sort of a brushed stainless look on the trim. And it accommodates the Traeger, the grill, charcoal, charbroil barbecue. I know everybody has their own camps.
Yeah.
Some people are green egg people.
Yeah.
This is not about no judgment.
We're not going to go. That's a whole nother episode on that whole thing. The egg versus the Traeger versus the barbecue versus the gas versus There's no winners in that argument.
Sink. Right. There's a sink there, a stainless sink, and a beverage refrigerator and storage as well. So it's great. It's so sleek. So, all the dudes, because now Jacob's almost 20, all his friends come over and they like to hang out and they listen to their music and they talk about girls and they
No.
And I just try to block it out, but that's their spot. That's like their cool hangout area. It's just really practical, and I'm really glad that we decided to do that.
And you have enough seating there to accommodate a lot of people at the dining. You've got the bar area. Was that something that evolved over time, like how much seating and where you put it, and like did you move those spaces around a little bit?
I mean, I'm always moving things around. It's just my nature, I think. But I knew I wanted to be able to seat a lot of people around the outdoor kitchen. Another 6 at the end of the yard under that big pergola, 2 on the lounge chairs that I'll never sit in. And then there's also a fire pit seating area over on the other far end of the pool. And you can sit probably 4 more people there. All of this was knowing that I wanted my son and his friends to want to be here. And I thought, if I can, over the years, add another seating group or add more umbrellas or add this kitchen, they're going to want to be at the Glaister Resort, right? And even over a number of years, you don't have to do everything at once. That's just not realistic, especially now. So, as long as you can make a little plan and you just kind of add on as you go, it will evolve probably better than you may have expected, even if you just did it all off the bat the first time, because you're living there and you start to learn how people use the space and you can sort of adapt to meet those needs. And I think that's fun.
Let's break down some of the spaces a little bit more. So on the side of the one side yard that leads up to the outdoor fire feature, tell me about that, how you kind of married the grass with the pathway, with the beautiful roses?
Well, I had this friend years and years ago when I first graduated college who allowed me to work in her nursery as her marketing person. Her name was Fran Nunes and she owned Westturf. And she had this moonlight garden that was so amazing. I'd never seen an all white garden because my parents like a lot of color and it's a lot. But I have a busy life. Any interior designer knows you have to manage so many things at once. And so I like it to feel a little bit more calm. And so I kind of employed the tactics that my friend Fran taught me. So almost all of the plantings are white. So I have white iceberg roses. I have white crepe myrtle trees, the white calla lilies, sweet William that's white. Some people call it dianthus. I do have a red-leafed white begonia, but that's kind of a fun textural difference because the sweet William's sort of fluffy and the red-leaf begonia is a little more compact and tidy. So the juxtaposition of the colors is fun. And I like that path because we went to go on just a fun little family overnight to Carmel by the sea. And I like to walk up and down and kind of scope out all the yards and see what ideas I can bring home.
That's
just like everybody else.
Good yard watching in Carmel for sure.
Oh, yeah. And they have these beautiful flagstone heart little pack stones. And I thought they were so pretty. And I know it's kitschy. Jacob's sort of embarrassed. He's like, Mom, come on. But I love it because it just sort of reminds me of Mark and putting this house together with him. So we did that little path. And so on the fence, we have roses that have color and a lot of fragrance. But that's pretty much the only place we have a lot of color other than glazed pots that I kind of strategically place around the yard.
What was your, strategy about placing the pots and how large they were and where you put them? And how do you think about that?
Well, I like things to make sense to me visually. And so scale and proportion have a lot to do with that. And those huge, beautiful glazed pots, they kind of serve as anchor points through the yard. So you see them around the pool, you see them down by the pergola, you see them in the little herb garden, and then there's little baby glazed pots that kind of match, that go through the whole thing. A home can look a certain way, furnished, but then if you bring in large pots and a fiddly fig or a palm or a really pretty pot with an orchid, and it just kind of speaks to the colors in the space and it brings in a little life and punch and zip. It's the same thing outside. So you have stuff in the ground. You can think of that as like furniture to your outdoor space. But then accessories become the pots and where you place them and how do you enliven a space with something with a little bit larger scale, or like that lime green of those cute little trees that I have around the pool, juniper, right? My friend Monica Perrone is a landscape artist. She's going to say, I can't believe you missed that. But anyway, it's a little structure. It's a little pop. It's a little cheer that you just kind of sprinkle around the same way you would in a house. Like I would never style a house without a live plant in a pot. It just looks so flat. So the same thing outside. Just sprinkle it all over and enjoy it. Don't overthink it. Don't feel like you have to make an English garden out of every pot. It's really a lot to take care of, and then it gets overgrown and you're constantly, trying to maintain that. So keeping it simple makes it easier and I think more restful visually too.
Well, thank you for spending the time with us today, Wendy. Beautiful space. Can't wait to see more of your amazing projects with clients.
Thank you so much, Rick. I'm so glad that you could come, and I hope people got some really fun ideas and that they can feel a little less pressure about making their backyard oasis happen overnight. Inch by inch, it's a cinch.
No, there you go. Inch by inch is a cinch. Hey, I like that. That's good stuff.
Yeah, yard by yard, life is hard.
Oh, no.
True.
All right, how many of these do you have?
Oh, those little quips.
Come on, give me another one. You're on a roll.
Yeah.
Yard by yard, it's
Ferns
hard.
make it friendly. Ferns make it friendly. That's my deal. All my friends tease me and say the Wendy way. It has to be cute, clean. I like it tidy. I don't know. I have a lot. I'm sorry.
I think this is a book in the making. That's a whole.
Oh, gosh.
Well, thanks again, Wendy. We will see you soon.
Sounds great, Rick.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks.